Alicia! Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara,
I'm Tiffany.
I'm Ron.
and we are back today for another recap of The Shy. This is the season finale, season 7, episode 12, titled Rebirth. Before we get started, though, please make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, like this video, and go ahead and click that notification bell so you get alerted every time we post. We also want to say thank you guys so much for supporting our channel. Please continue to do so by inviting your friends, your family to come and get down with the Spot Real Talk, because we got a great conversation today. What an episode for this finale of The Shy. Man, I tell you, I was up there fighting back tears. I'm like, why they keep doing this to us? Oh my goodness, so emotional dealing with not only the birth of two children, but a transition, with Jada.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part, I think.
It really was. I think that we all knew it was coming. They've been telling us basically all season that it was leading up to Jada's departure. And it was tough seeing it. I was a little irritated because I'm like, we seen Darnell call Damien, and they were kind of going back and forth between whether they were going to tell Emmett to come and be with his mom as she's dying or be with Keisha as she's giving birth. And Darnell's like, no, don't tell him or whatever. And we eventually see Damien pop up over there, and I'm like, I just know he's not about to do what I think he's gonna do. He's gonna try to be there in place of Emmett, and I don't know if he thought that was some consolation. And then we kind of seen things play out a little more because Damien been doing some dumb stuff this season.
Right.
So I was just waiting for him to do something idiotic as far as this Jada situation, but thankfully it didn't play out that way.
No, I thought it was a right call for him to go over there and say, like, she needs to be there. And I was happy to hear Jada say, like, no, because I was watching with my son and stuff, and we were talking about that moment. And I said, I really think they should let her go over there.
Exactly.
And his friend was like, but maybe, it would be uncomfortable for them because she's wearing pants. And I said, no, but this is going to be the only time she gets to see her grandchild.
Exactly.
I said, she's going to will herself to go over there. And I was just like, I think that's what needed to happen, and give everybody a chance to say goodbye, and for her to say, to greet her grandchild.
Yeah, it worked out really well because I wasn't sure if Keisha, I didn't know she was having a home birth at first. And I'm thinking eventually she's going to go to the hospital. And I was thinking along the same lines as you, is if they take Jada to meet the baby, maybe that would be a situation where they can intervene if something happened to Jada, if she starts, having pains and whatnot because of her cancer. At least she would already be in the hospital. But it turned out to be a home birth, so it played out the opposite.
Keisha had a home birth before with Ronnie.
Right. And so I wasn't sure though, because we seen Tiff getting rushed off to the hospital, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna be in the same spot.
I was a little disappointed. I didn't want Jada to go that fast. I mean,
I know.
It was, up one day, down the next, and I just it didn't sit well with me like that. I had hoped that she would see the grandchild. She did.
Got to hold her.
But the whole thing was just rushed. I didn't like that death that fast, that quick.
But that's kind of how cancer is, especially when it's late stage cancer.
But when it got you like that, to get up and go, there's a lot. I'm not going to just.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but I guess I'm trying to think of, like, if there is to be like a season finale, you're going to have all the major events happen in the season finale. So I would think that, that's kind of how they would do it.
And that was a smorgasbord of events.
It was a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff too.
In there, but it was, but I feel like she willed herself, because had she stayed home, she probably would have transitioned at home. But hearing that the baby was there, definitely willed herself.
Yeah.
And I thought too it was right not to tell Emmett, because he was in a moment.
But if his mom would have passed and he wouldn't have been there, I would think that he would be even more torn up about that
Yeah, he
situation.
would have. He would have.
Because
That's
it's
why.
like, I get you want to be there for your child's birth, but you're gonna have your time with your child for the rest of your life. There's only these last few moments that you're going to have with your dying mom, and I would think that that would take precedent. And if they would have withheld that information from him, he would have been livid.
That,
Well,
that's what I
remember
said. I
also
said,
though, he said that was the first time he had that experience. Or Keisha said, well, it's the first time for everything. So it was his first time experiencing that. And as a man, if you've ever been in that position to experience that, and I know I have, that's a once in a lifetime experience. I mean,
He could have another kid though. He ain't having another mama.
well, but I mean, he knew his mother
I
was.
think it worked out the way it was supposed to. She
It
was
did.
supposed to be there, and that's why the one time Damien did something right by going over there.
Right.
You
Well,
know, saying like, "Hey, like this is going on, and I think you need to be there." And and
Mm-hmm.
I love Donnell and stuff, and I love that he was trying to protect her. But I'm glad that
she
that
did. I mean, 'cause
that she
she died
spoke up
on the
and was
way.
like, I'm here. I can still hear you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the child. Like he was making that decision for her and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I said you know,
When he said she's transitioning, my thought was, does she even have the power to make it? Because most people, as they transition like that, I mean, they really have nothing left in them to do anything with.
mm, no, I'm gonna tell you what the hospice nurse told me because my mother had cancer. I'm about to do my 2.5 personal story. um,
I got one too.
the hospice nurse, yeah, I know but um, the hospice nurse said that they have a lot of control over, when they want to go. Like a lot of times they can will themselves. And that's one thing, like with when I found out my mom was late stage and everything, my son was actually getting ready to go graduate from high school. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna be here? Is she gonna be around to see him walk the stage? She looked at me and she said, who said I'm not gonna be there for that? And
Yep.
she willed herself. She did. She was there. She was like, she willed herself to be there. She was there when he got the his acceptance to college, and she passed like a couple days after he got the acceptance. So
That's what
she
I was
will.
hoping. Give him a couple
So
of.
that's what I said with Jada. She was transitioning, but she willed herself to be there to see this child and have
Mm-hmm.
that moment with her and have those final moments with her family before she went.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say also, I thought that them naming the baby Jada and her getting to hear that was really sweet, because it was revealed to her at that moment. They hadn't had any prior conversation about naming the baby or nothing, and on the spot she just learns baby's name is Jada. So they're doing that to honor her. I thought that was really, really cute.
Me too.
Also, just how she had that conversation with Keisha. Again, they have some of the best talks, and she was talking about how she was glad Keisha was hard on Emmett, and
Mm-hmm.
she even left Keisha some money aside to start her own homeschooling business. And so I was like, Jada, if there was a way to go, I think her knowing that she was going to go and being able to have closure with everybody was perfect. She got to talk to Tracy. She kind of
Mm-hmm.
talked her into leaving Chicago. Emmett was saying that although he understands her sentiment on why she wants him to leave, he said he gonna stay because he's like, what's gonna happen to Chicago if all the men like me leave? So I was like,
Yeah, I would
there goes our
definitely.
theory about him leaving the show. Tracy might be leaving the show, but Emmett seems like he gonna be sticking around for more seasons.
I was just all around upset. Even when I found out she had cancer, and I knew that's where we were headed. I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
her to go. She could have stayed until to the last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
yeah.
she was just. I don't know. I think she getting back with
Darnell.
Darnell. I wanted to see more of that because it sure changed Darnell. And
They
I
were
just,
happy. They looked like they were
yeah.
like
I
hitting
mean,
their
the one,
stride, they
They
sweet
yeah,
were.
spot.
exactly. That once, exactly. They hit the sweet spot, and lo and behold, it's torn because of some terminal illness, and
Mm-hmm.
she went quickly. So that I wasn't happy about it. But then again, I digress. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
writing.
mean, I understand why, because Jada is a very beloved character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
terms of storyline, I do wonder, like, if they plan on last season being the next, because it seems like it's going to be a lot of, it was a lot of departures this episode, particularly
Mm-hmm.
with Jada, with Tracy seemingly, and with Alicia ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It seemed like
So let's talk about that situation. So that whole scenario goes down. Toussaint, the detective, actually arrests Reg. We figured that Alicia would send Toussaint instead of going directly.
I was like, she gonna send the cop over there.
Yeah, and so Toussaint is happy. She kind of got what she wanted. Um, but Candace is making her calls because she's like, "Oh, I think I messed up," and I think she realized that she called Terry for help, and her, Reg, and Keith are kind of sitting in the car. He's like, "What this woman look like?" And Keith like, "That sound like Sean's lady." And they start putting two and two together and realize that Alicia duped all of them. So Reg is now on his get back mission, and he fresh out Bing, getting ready to go and commit yet another robbery at Alicia's.
I think that was a sent a message
It
to
was.
because especially since he was like cutting up her art and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted to get back. But what's the guy's name that was Candace's
Oh, Keith.
Keith.
Keith. So,
Mm-hmm.
and Keith broke it down. He said, well, if did he have a gun? No. So it's just breaking and entering. And I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna get out. And then I'm thinking the only one
Mm-hmm.
that could have got the police there was Candace. So
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that it would play out like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that he's gonna come straight for Candace once he gets out. And we all see he gets out pretty quickly. So did Toussaint get what she really wanted? I mean,
It,
No, because it didn't stick.
that's what
right.
I'm saying. It didn't stick, and she seemed to be satisfied with him, just being locked up. And I'm thinking, no, 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 we can't be satisfied with this. Darn it, Reg was supposed to go this season, not next. I gotta wait till next
I
season.
didn't think
No.
they didn't bring him back to just have him like die off this
I
season.
just,
I was like, I said they're gonna stretch this out, and I
no.
think it's gonna ultimately because Nook didn't go either. So I said it's probably leading up to the come to Jesus between
Yeah.
them two.
I think they'll take each other out. But
Yeah. And
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna come down to that eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Red situation, I think he going in there, he stole a lot of cash. He stole a lot, her jewelry, her bags, fur even. And we seen that he ultimately left. But then in come, Nuck, because Tiff called and was like, "You need to go over there and check up on things." It's all these people coming to the scene. So Nuck came over there, but he didn't touch anything. He just
Nook
kind of
was
was in and out.
Nuck is
Nook was
smart.
smart.
He's
Nook
smart.
was smart.
Yeah.
He picked game and
He
he
said,
said, I'm gonna wipe my prints off
like
of
my
that. And he
friend off the
dipped.
door now. This is what.
He
See,
looked, it's like,
okay.
But exactly what you said though, his fingerprints, his shoe print, like there's a lot of forensics that's at that scene of all the people that been in and out.
Now, I don't know if Nook stepped any blood or anything. I don't think
yeah,
he.
because
I
he
don't
didn't
think
go.
so.
I think
No,
he
when
was careful.
he looked around.
Yeah, he
Because
blocked.
he dipped right on out.
Now those other two,
Now, those are
Shad
some
and Vic.
dummies. Those are some dummies. Because I was just like, oh my God. And I knew it. And I saw them, I was like, the cops gonna come and find them both there. I said, they moving the body. I
and
said, they're
why move the
tampering,
body?
they tampering with a crime scene. I was like, they can ready to get the book thrown at them and
Yes.
But Vic knew not to move the body. Vic
Vic was so
always,
against it. It was Shad who was
but
being
but
emotional.
he could have said, Sean, he could have smacked him up, smacked him to into
He
some
should have.
reality. My thing is, you know not to move the body because all the
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you part of the security team. So for me, I was just like, why didn't he call? police, but my son was reminding me like, yeah, he was security, but she gave him that job under the table. So, and they're both being ex-cons too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
both
He
Vic
should have
and
called the police right away. When he walked in there and found what he found, he should have called.
that's a he definitely should have moved it. I was like, because when he picked up the phone, I was like, oh, he gonna call. I said, oh, he called Trig. I'm like, that's your first phone call.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's your first phone call. I mean, I don't know, but now, what do you think? So, well, here's my thought. Okay, next season they can't stay long. They don't really have much on them because the,
That's what my son
the
said. Yeah, because
rigor had already set in,
exactly.
and
Because when
so
they were carrying her, she was heavy. She
right,
was
she's
definitely
pretty
dead
stiff.
weight. And that's what he was saying.
Right.
Like,
So that
once they
assumes
find
that
out
she's
the
been
time of
dead at
death,
least 8 hours, because rigor mortis, I think, sets in around 8 hours.
I
But
don't think it's been 8 hours though.
it's 6 to 8 hours. It's a period
No,
of.
I'm just saying that I don't think it had been that
No, it was
long.
at night. I don't know what time they went. The point is, I don't know what time they got to
To Alicia's house.
Lisa's house,
Yeah.
but she was dead, dead. I mean,
He
Well,
sure was.
it was
my
no
question
question.
is, who called the cops to
But that's
Alicia's house?
another question. Yeah, who did call the police?
The neighbors might have heard something.
Well, yeah, it was a couple of gunshots, but that was several hours later.
Yeah, that's
Remember,
what I'm
it was
saying. That was in
nighttime
the
when
day.
Alicia got shot. The cops pulled up in daylight.
Exactly.
Yeah, or they might have been, it might have been some neighbors been like, oh, they're two brothers. There might have been some nosy, if the neighbors have not been known to do that too. Call the cops on folk.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean that's true. I'm wondering what if well that probably be next season. Maybe we'll find out who actually called the cops in the first place. Was it Tiff just doing a wellness check or something? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I was like, it's not a good look for Shad and Vic to be
Mm-mm.
at the scene. You just lifted her dead body. You got blood all
Mm-hmm.
over
All
your
over
hands
there.
and
Yeah.
clothes,
And the
and
house been robbed. That's the
and the
other
house
thing.
has been vandalized. Yes.
Mhm. Well, I I don't suppose it would really surprise me that they spend any time in jail over it because it's what forensics ought to be able to tell that they didn't have any blood splatter on them. They just had the blood on the hands.
No gunshot residue on the clothes or
The
hands.
time of death, but they
Time.
probably gonna think it's convenient that
And,
that Shad had the night off. He was out with the girl, but he's supposed to be security. You
well,
know,
the girl can vouch for Shad as
she
to his
could. She
whereabouts.
could.
Hopefully, they got some receipts from a date or something they went on. We can definitely see that Trig was in the
He
elevator at
was
the
he was in the
hospital at the
hospital.
time of death.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And the
I think
time the
it'll be
phone call was
easy for
placed.
them to get out of that
Right.
situation.
And the
Mm-hmm.
time the phone call was placed, you can always find out that
Yep,
the phone call between Sean and Vic and where Vic was at the time he got the call because Tiffany was there. So,
exactly.
you know,
There's lots of ways they can get out of that situation. So I don't think whatever them getting arrested, I don't think they're gonna get. They might get charged, but the charges ain't gonna stick.
no, it's
Mm-hmm.
but
And
Sean,
so let's talk about ultimately who was behind Alicia's death because we seen Roz come back in the picture this episode, and Roz first goes to Alicia and is talking to her, confront her about killing Duda.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that she was behind, and then also she spoke to Nuck. We seen Roz go over and confront Nuck about the situation
Nope.
as
Nope.
he
Nope.
was, having his time.
he's quick with his lies. I'm gonna tell you,
Nuck's karma is gonna be,
yeah, when he get it, it's gone.
yeah, his karma.
But
Yeah.
I mean, he knows how to get out of a situation, obviously. Did one of you mention Rod's coming back in one of the other episodes? I kind of remember
She was early on in
I
the
know. Well, I don't remember. I think we were talking about who's going to kill who, and I thought one of you might have mentioned, well, maybe Rods will come back, something to that effect.
Or somebody might have said it
maybe.
in the
Yeah, they
comments.
may have said, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it might
And
have
actually, I
been.
think I misspoke because Roz actually confronted Nuck first and then
Yeah.
Alicia second.
And Nook lied.
And
Yeah, and yeah, Nuck did lie.
well,
And
Again.
so we
but
ultimately see that Nuck's lie got Alicia taken out.
the
Yet
Rods,
another person. So
Nook's lie got Alicia taken out. Nook's lie got Zay taken out.
the Rods, man, I mean, I knew she had it in her, but she
well, I
she a
I know
foreigner. Mm.
I know Roz explained kind of a little bit of why she did it, but when Nuck was questioning her, like, I thought you didn't even care about Duda. Why are you so concerned? Like, I had the same thought. I'm like,
But she said they had an agreement. She
she
said they
did.
had an agreement.
I
Right.
She
just
said it
wasn't
was a
buying
letter
that reasoning.
that if something should happen, that she was supposed to
Take out the
take care
person.
of business and stuff. So even though they had an interesting relationship, sometimes seemed more like business, she did hold them down.
She
I
held him down, but I don't like that reasoning as to why she felt the need to do everything she did. Like, dude, I ain't here no more. He ain't gonna know that you didn't follow through on your promise.
And like Alicia said, I didn't think you liked them in the first place, or y'all had problems.
And
I
then she
think
said, "Yeah,
though,
we would."
but
And
but
then when Alicia said that,
Alicia need to learn how to lie. And,
yeah, she said, "Oh, so it was premeditated." I was like, "Oh, she's
yeah,
done for."
I'm like, when
Alicia
you
has
said
so
that,
much pride and that kind of like boisterous attitude that I don't think she thought what was coming was coming.
you got a gun pointing down your throat. Let me tell you something. If you can lie, lie. You know,
Well, she had that hubris, because she was talking
Mhm.
about,
that's what
she told Candace, I make people disappear.
Yep.
And even the haughty stuff she said to the pastor about, like basically the way she was talking about God, like she was talking
Yep.
as if she was God and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, you not want to be mocked.
Yeah.
well,
So I was just like, yeah, Alicia. I mean, she had it coming too, because she did her
And
share
karma,
of
yep.
nonsense. Yeah.
Yep.
So
it comes back hard. So now we don't have to worry about Rob Jr. being
Yeah,
taken.
and
wow.
that's the first thing I said. I was like, well, Tiff get to keep her baby. Or you know what? She still signed this paperwork. So I wonder what's gonna happen with Alicia's estate
It
and the
seems
baby.
like it's gonna go to Tiff because she made her, essentially in those documents that they were signing several episodes ago with the lawyer, she was basically making her the beneficiary of all of that stuff. So it seems like Tiff about to clean up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just want to talk a little bit about her situation because it was looking rough for Tiff. I'm like, Keisha over here having this calm, peaceful home birth, and Tiff is in the trenches with it. I mean,
Well, she wanted to go back and get her bag, and I get it, but I was like, she could have had somebody bring the bag
No, and
to the
right? Because she wanted
hospital.
the picture
that
of
picture
Rob too.
yeah,
Yeah,
she wants to go back to get the picture of Rob, and I'm like, you about to be
and, and I feel her on that, but I was just like, I felt like somebody could have brought that to her.
exactly.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Victor could have gone back and got it,
Yeah.
taken her in and gone back and got it, if so be it. If it was
Cause
that,
she was, I thought she was gonna have a baby in a car on the way to the
Right.
hospital for a minute.
well,
And
that's
I was about to say, then they ran into that traffic and got stuck, and she going off on Vic. I'm like, poor Vic just be getting all kinds
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
took quite good care of her in the elevator and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He did his
Mm-hmm.
job. So, you know, kudos for Vic. Now let's see in the next season how she treats him.
Yeah. He was right there in the hospital and she was texting Nook. I
Yeah,
said, Vic is right
mm-hmm.
there. She texting Nook. But she did tell him to go pull up and check on the house and stuff. But because at first I was like, wait a minute, you got this man sitting here and you texting another dude.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
I don't know. I'm just hoping that Tiff does. I mean, there's okay. So I hope Tiff doesn't start getting in tight with Nook. Like it seems like she's been trying to these past couple of
Yeah,
episodes. Because
yeah.
if all of this chaos surrounding Nook and us thinking, his karma is definitely gonna come for him.
Mm-hmm.
Her being associated with him or even being any type of close with him, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to put her in the direct line of fire for whatever's coming his way. So her being a new mom, it's not a good look to be associated with him. And
She
then
right.
it's not too much better with Vic either now that he's caught up in this fiasco, possibly going to jail and hopefully being able to clear his name. But geez, you just had a child and two of the men in your life are going through all this chaos.
And this is the second time Vic had to clear his name. Because remember
Mm-hmm.
he was being accused of
mhm.
Killing
unlawful
Q.
Q. You
Yep.
know, so
Yeah, Shaw
Yeah.
gets the hands for me. That was just all around.
yes, yeah, that was
Yeah.
dumb.
And
That
Well,
was
I
dumb.
want
you
I
got
wanted
Vic
to
involved with
see.
something that he shouldn't have been involved with. Shaw did. Shaw got Vic involved with something that he shouldn't have been involved.
Yeah.
First call he
Hmm.
should have made was to the police, then called Vic. But
Yeah. I also wanted to hear you guys' thoughts about Bakari because I was really worried for him this season because the
I
way he
was
was
too.
talking in that voiceover as he's kind of writing his book, it
Yep.
was sounding like he was about to make his grand closing.
yeah,
Um, and then Nuck obviously told Bakari about Alicia being dead, so his hopes of that scholarship, I think he had already kind of dispersed that last episode. But if he thought it was coming back, Alicia being dead definitely doesn't fare well for his scholarship. But at least he still has Professor Gardner there as kind of a support. And I thought it was interesting that he told Professor Gardner not to call him son. Because that's
Yeah.
like, I was like, this man really looks at him. I think he views Bakari as a second son. As
Mm-hmm.
we know he had his own son that passed away, but I
Mm-hmm.
think he sees a lot of his son in Bakari too, and is trying to keep Bakari from, ending up on the wrong path. He kind of sees the danger and is kind of steering him in the right direction.
but he acquiesced.
Yeah, he did. I was like, clean that up, Bakari, because I felt bad. I was like,
It,
ouch,
it
Yeah,
was
when he said
abrasive.
that.
I was like, geez,
yeah, it was
yeah.
rough, and I'm glad he cleaned that up, and
Mm-hmm.
that was a good thing. But I want to
Mm-hmm.
go back to dang, lost my train of thought.
Oh.
Um, when you were talking about oh oh Bakari, who was supposed to be on guard. No, and he's talking about, and see, I said this earlier, and check. I think we mentioned it in the conversation that we had, Tiff. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, do you still keep this man around? I mean, that could have been the end of you.
Yeah, I said it, I think last week or the week before about having a number two that don't really want to be a
Be a
number
number
two.
two, exactly. And this is
He
what happened.
sleep, he writing his book and stuff. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, at this point, he holding Bakari hostage. And then Bakari is the keeper of secrets because Bakari knows that he killed Rob. Now Bakari knows that he was at the place and seen Alicia dead, but he doesn't know who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
yeah.
but I think Nuck's idea is to keep Bakari close in case he does become an enemy because you know too much.
That's well,
Keep him close, but that second in line,
I
man,
keep wanting to talk about our conversation with Cortez.
yeah, that's what I'm
he
saying.
kind of and he kind of said that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mentioned it to him about Bakari, but I guess I can't wait for season 8 to see what happens with Bakari because
Well, he
I think he's on his
seemingly
way
has
out.
been invited to live with Lene. She says she's gonna move out and get her own place, and she's asking him to come live with her. And I'm like, girl,
I
you
don't know
just don't know what you asked for.
yeah,
how,
her place be getting shot up and stuff because he in the streets. Mm-mm.
I don't know how that's going, but I was surprised to hear her say she loved him.
I mean, I think it's
I
clear.
think she always did love him. She wanted him last season. She wanted him to choose, and she was mad because he chose the streets.
No, I got
Mm-hmm.
that, and I'm saying throughout this whole season, she was kind of cool with him, and for her to
Yeah.
just come out and say, "Hey, I love you, let's live together," I was like, "Whoa, okay, sounds like a plan for Bakari. I'm not sure how it's going to work out for her."
Well,
Yeah.
maybe she felt like because as the news was spreading about Jada and
Yeah.
stuff, and then maybe she was thinking, life is short. Jada's about to pass away. Her own brother got shot almost as a like. So she might have been like, you know what, I need to like put my cards on the table and tell him how I feel.
Yeah.
That, and maybe she might feel like she can be a positive influence on him. She already introduced him to Professor Gardner and he thanked her for that. And so she's probably
Mhm.
thinking, if I can stick close to him, maybe I can influence him in a better direction. Because without her around, I think she feels like he's going deeper down the rabbit hole of
Mhm.
nonsense. So I don't think it's a good idea, but I think her motives are pure.
Yeah. I agree.
Um,
I mean, I think you're right. I just something smells funny in the kitchen. I don't know.
yeah. Um, Speaking of somebody else who wants their mate to move in, Carolyn and Zeke have decided that they have, they're rekindling things, and she invites him to move back into the house. So it seems like everything is on the up and up. Uh, I guess they got over the fact that that Zeke was kind of spilling the beans on the podcast. Kenya didn't even seem that mad this episode. In fact, she was kind of praising Zeke for the sermon that he gave. So I'm like, okay, I guess everybody got over it.
Very quickly. But the question is, can Zeke handle it? Can he do what even he said? They're going to live in separate, have separate bedrooms. Great idea when you want to patch up things. But I don't know, Zeke. There's just something about you that tells me once you get comfortable, you're going back to your old routine.
I don't know. I hope that he has changed over for good. And he seems like he's on a better path.
I hope so.
But Carolyn does she kind of let him know that one of the rules of him coming back to live is that she kind of wants to know his whereabouts. Let me know where you're going and all this stuff. And I see her possibly becoming a little overbearing.
Yes.
I can see that coming. It's a little drops here and there, but something tells me that she's going to be doing the most.
And that's what I'm worried about with Zeke. Will he be able to withstand that? Somebody wanting to know where you're going, what time you're coming, eh, you that could be a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, and in his previous relationships, it kind of seems like he still had a lot of autonomy to do as he pleased.
Yeah.
So
that's why she had a lot of it. That's why she ended up cheating, because he was so focused on the church, and not that he's not supposed to be focused on the church, but he was neglecting his own life. So I think she's asking him too. Like, I hear you. It could possibly end up being overbearing, but at the same time, she's trying to make sure that home is the priority.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of don't know
if
I see that going well.
Well, we'll see.
They did also kind of hint at some observations they seen with Kenya, and they're like, it seemed like she might get back with Papa too, and they seemed like they were in favor of that. So that's probably something we'll see next season as well.
The Papa, I'm telling you, Papa gonna find out that he knew that Nook. I think all the secrets gonna break next season. I think they're gonna find out that Nook was the one that killed Rob. That's Tiff might take him out, who knows? But I think that's gonna come out. I think that ultimately Papa's gonna find out that Zeke knew that Nook was the one that unalived his dad, and that's gonna cause a rift.
Yeah, they might also find. Bakari might be the one to do this, but he might think that that Nook was the one that killed Alicia, even though he was responsible indirectly. Bakari knowing that Alicia is dead and Nook being the one to tell him that, he might assume that Nook was the one that did it. And if that comes out, Nook is getting all of what he has coming to him. It's gonna be a rough season for him.
He gonna get the karma.
Yeah. So this was a good finale. It did have a lot crammed into it, and a lot of departures of some very fond characters that we definitely didn't want to see go. I think that Jada, she has been such a cornerstone of this show since the first season, and so to see her go, like, people are emotionally tied to her character, and then to see her go the way she did, it was rough. And I just think about Emmett next season. What is this going to look like for him? Because you're dealing with the grief of losing your mom. Is so overwhelming, but you can't slack off because you got all these kids and a family to take care of, and you talking about getting married to Keisha. That's a whole nother level of expectation itself as a husband.
And the other thing I noticed with Emmett this season, Emmett was starting to drink a lot.
And Damien don't help.
Yeah, Damien, that definitely.
They got to put him out.
But I'm going to give it to Keisha. I think that she's a stronghold for him. I think that she'll keep him on the straight and narrow. And plus the new baby. So hopefully, it's going to hit him hard about losing his mom. But I think that I think if anybody can keep him in line or straight, keep him up would be Keisha.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
and two, I think Keisha will replace Jada amongst the
Corner.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's she asked her to. She
yeah,
told
she
her to. She
is.
said, "You need
Yeah.
to, I want you to lead the group now."
Yeah. And I think for them, at least finances doesn't seem to be an issue for them. Smokies is still doing good. They put the new manager in place. Even though she be overstepping, Emmett gonna have to keep a
Mm-hmm.
close eye on her.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at least he knows that there is somebody that is capable. While
Mm-hmm.
even if he is grieving and he needs to slack off at Smokies for a while, there is
Mm-hmm.
somebody capable in place.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's gonna have to keep a close eye. But also the money that Jada left to Keisha, that's gonna be, and I'm sure she left some to Emmett as well. If that, I don't think finances is gonna be an issue for them, so they can really focus on healing
Mm-hmm.
from this whole situation. Now, Darnell, on the other hand, I think that he is gonna probably end up pursuing that grief counselor next season.
I think so too.
And that's going to be a problem with Emmett.
For Emmett. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he's gonna feel like, oh, you've been plotting this all along, or you moving too fast, or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
That's going to, yeah.
So that's one of my predictions for them. Um, Now, as far as everybody else, I think we kind of have thrown out our predictions that Vic and Shaw will probably get out of their situation with the law. Um, Reg, what do we think is gonna happen with Reg next season?
Well, I said by any means necessary. Like,
That's,
it doesn't
I
prove
think
it
that's
work.
I
gonna
don't
be
think he's
one.
dying.
No,
Yeah, I don't think so. At least maybe at the end of the end of the season, or if we don't know if next season is the end or not. But I think ultimately, Red's gonna get his comeuppance too. I was surprised to see that Hannibal made it, because I was just like, I thought Hannibal was on borrowed time.
He might still be,
I think
and
he is.
he was the getaway driver that picked up Reg from the crime scene. So I'm wondering, in that neighborhood, I'm sure there's some security cameras. They might have caught the plate or something. Hannibal could get caught up in that nonsense with Reg if they start going back and reviewing footage of people's, ring cameras or whatever.
But I thought
Um,
that Reg was gonna figure out that he was the rat.
that too. I mean, they ain't put that stuff in there for no reason. All of this
Yeah.
stuff comes back eventually.
Hmm.
I got
Um,
Candace is going on my list too.
Yeah, so let's talk about who can get the hands.
God.
Candace.
Oh, Candace. She's gone. Huh.
Because what are y'all reasons for putting Candace on the list? Because the way she talked to Alicia at the end, and because she.
No, well, for one thing, getting involved with this mess, that's number one.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
really didn't have to.
Right,
Number
right.
two, she was the skin of her teeth is the thing that kept her from having her head blown off, particularly when she told Reg that she might be the rat. Uh,
Hmm.
and I'm like,
So then this might be my fault and stuff. And I think because she came clean is probably what saved her.
Yeah.
well, and it's interesting to see Reg having that much care maybe for her.
Yeah, he's feeling her for sure.
And maybe that's what kept her from getting her head blown off.
And
But
probably because she told him straight up, like when he asked her to do it, she said, "I'm scared." She said, "I
Mhm.
don't want to do this. I don't want to." So she told him up front she wasn't
why
down.
she's on the list because she didn't have to do it. She should have
Yeah.
kept kept with that and said, no, I'm not getting involved. Like Keith. Keith was like, I don't want to go back to jail.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she goes. She's
Okay. So you said Candace can get the hands. I think you mentioned Shad
definitely
because you did Shad
Yeah,
did so unnecessary. You should not
yeah,
have moved the body. And then you got
yeah,
Vic involved in moving the body.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Shad gets the hands for
for
sure.
sure. Hmm.
Um, who else? Anybody else on Reg can get the hands, definitely. We ain't gotta question that one. um, who else do we wanna say can get the hands?
I mean,
Roz, y'all wanna get Roz the hands?
Uh,
Or
no,
not?
actually,
Or
well,
she just following through?
the sad part about that whole thing, it's like one enemy got rid of another enemy. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
hmm
you know,
hmm
I mean, we knew, Alicia had to go at some point because,
yeah,
you wanted to kill every drug dealer in Chicago. So,
hmm
that didn't happen. So now you're out. Do I, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So I guess
Well,
didn't get.
do y'all give Nuck the hands too?
Oh,
Because he was the
absolutely.
one that set Alicia up
Absolutely.
for this.
Most
Oh, absolutely. Because like I keep alluding to it because Ron and I did talk to Cortez and plays Nook, but we don't have the footage, y'all. So, but during that interview, I told him, I was like, you're responsible for a lot of bodies.
I mean, yeah. So, like we said, when karma comes spin the block, there ain't no reason, there's no excuse. It is what it is.
It's gonna come
You
back
wrote
home.
this into your story for all the things you did.
and for once, Damien is not on the list for me.
Not this
No,
episode.
not this episode. Because I think he was. I think it was a good call to go over there for sure. I really think that they should have let Jada do just what she did to come over and have those final moments with them and to see the baby.
Are
Mhm.
we giving Damien a game ball? Or are we just giving him an honorable mention?
Yeah, I gotta say I don't know if I'm ready to give him the game ball because he didn't work my nerves so much this season. I don't think I can give him the game ball yet, but I do appreciate that he did go over there
Mm-hmm.
do that. And
Victor
so
gets the game ball.
who deserved the game
No,
ball this
Victor gets
I'm
the game
episode?
giving it to
ball.
Jada.
I'm gonna well,
Oh yeah, Jada
but
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. And I would have given it to Vic had he stood on, on 10 with Shad.
Yeah, that's what I said. He might need to be on the hands list too, though.
Yeah, he
For,
might have to get
Mhm.
on the hands list for being stupid. So,
yeah, for going along with that
yeah,
foolishness.
because he should have gotten the game ball. I mean, he was, busy. But
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
do give him a game ball for being there for Tiff though.
Yeah,
that's
and
what I
even
say. But then it's like a weight when you put 6 pounds in this hand and then 6 pounds, or eight in this hand, because that was, I mean, to move the body was, and Vic
Just
knows
yeah.
better. He's from the streets. He knows better. And
Mm-hmm.
for him to acquiesce with Shad and move the body, what
yeah,
I
that was
was going
dumb.
to give him, I'm sorry. I won't put him on the hands list, but yeah, you got to prove better for me next season.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
dumb.
So, one final prediction for next season with Detective Toussaint. Like y'all said earlier, I don't think that Reg getting arrested and released so early is a part of the agreement that the judge made with her because she was saying we'll let your son out if you give us Reg, and
Hmm.
she gave them Reg temporarily.
Yeah, that's not
That
Yeah,
was
they weren't able to make it stick.
right.
the other thing is I wonder if that agreement will even stand now that Alicia is dead because Alicia was really behind that whole arrangement.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think Toussaint is going to be a little disappointed by the outcome, and her son might not get out.
Well, I could see it sticking, but breaking and entering, I don't know. But then again, he's a common criminal. He might get a little time, but then again, I guess it depends on his lawyer. But I don't know how you plead out well, maybe plead out breaking and entering and get 12 months or something to that effect. But if he gets no time, I'm going to be suspect because you were caught red-handed. You were caught at the house.
Yeah,
hmm
and I'm just wondering if something's going to come up that's going to place Reg at the scene, and they'll be able to get him maybe for
yeah,
that.
yeah. Or if they try to like fence
Yeah.
Alicia stuff.
So yeah,
Uh
That,
huh.
that fur coat. Yeah.
yeah, that
Hmm.
might
That might, yeah,
blow
yeah,
up the
Yeah,
spot too.
yeah. He can get
that's a good one.
because of that.
Okay.
But that,
Well, that
yeah,
you got any more, Ron?
no, I'm just thinking though, all that stuff he stole, that that threshold is going over the what's that? Federal court now, state court,
Mhm.
something.
It
Um,
was
it's a lot of money. So
a lot of
that's,
money
that's
of
grand
some
larceny.
very valuable jewels and bags.
Yeah, grand larceny. That's what I was thinking. So if he gets caught with grand larceny, he's going up
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah. He going. He's definitely going.
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing next season. I really did enjoy this season. I'm glad they gave us the extended,
Hmm.
extra 2 episodes because
Hmm.
it would have been a lot to cram in a 10. So I did love the extended season. I think they did a great job with all the people that they introduced this season and keeping us kind of like hooked into the storyline. So Really good job to all the people involved, all the actors and actresses. They have done a phenomenal job keeping the show going. I think we mentioned a few episodes back that they have even made history at the network, becoming one of the longest running series.
Yeah.
And so, this show just continues to show out. So I'm looking forward to whatever they have coming for us next season. To all the viewers out there, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you drop down in the comment section and give us your thoughts about this episode, as well as any predictions you have for next season. Be sure to also subscribe to our channel, like the video, and click that notification bell. Tiff?
Before we go, I wanted to shout out Lynn Whitfield, because she's a legend and Regal and stuff. So, and now she's making her exit from the show. And also the shout out to Yolanda Ross, because she was a staple of the show and a legend for the Shy. And we've interviewed her before. It was about 4 years ago. So look at our interview tab and go back and check out our interview with Yolanda Ross.
Yes, so job well done to both of them. They have both been phenomenal this season. It's so sad to see them both go, but they definitely brought the heat this season. They did their thing.
R.I.P.
Ron?
And there's R.I.P. ladies. That's all I want to say.
Yes. Also, make sure that you guys head over to our social media accounts. We are at The Spot Real Talk on all major platforms. Follow us there and keep up with all that we have going on. We are still continuing to recap BMF, and we will have more shows that we continue to. I think Force is coming back on Stars, and then there's a couple of other things. So, of course, if you have any suggestions of shows, Reasonable Doubt. That's our jam right there.
Yeah,
so
that's also in September.
Yes, we definitely are looking forward to that. So just keep up with us. Continue to stick with us. Make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends and family to join The Spot Real Talk as well. And we're going to keep bringing the heat for you guys. We love providing you with great content. We're going to keep the fire coming your way. So stick with us. Tiff, Ron, y'all got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Well, on that note, we are going to call it a night. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you are back with us on our other recaps. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Now this is my remedy.